Reroll. Idiot with the cases of whiskey. I love it though. It's a great intro.
Warning. This program is intended for adults of legal drinking age. Whiskey is consumed and discussed. The intent is to educate our palates on the differences of whiskey flavors and not an intent to get drunk. Please drink responsibly.
Hey everybody, welcome to I Fucking Love Whiskey. I'm Andrew Pierce, and I fucking love whiskey. And I'm joined, as always, I'm not joined with my co-host Joseph. He's on his way. He just flew in for Vegas, and boy, are his arms tired. But he'll be showing up momentarily, I'm sure, and we're going to vamp until that time. But I am super excited for our guest here, Seth Campbell. Seth Campbell, we met him in the chat during one of our other shows and said, hey, you should be on the show. And he was like, okay. And so he was crazy enough to say yes. We were crazy enough to fight him. Seth, how are you doing?
Hey man, I'm excited to be here. This is going to be awesome. Thank you guys for having me first and foremost. I know I'm not your traditional Scotch guy, but maybe you can pull me to the dark side.
Maybe we can show you. There's a little door over here that has some good stuff behind it. I think that's right. Kind of what we're hoping to do.
My wife is definitely hoping that you do that. So.
Oh, okay. She's a big Peat head, I hear. She
really
likes that smoky Scotch. Yeah. Well, Joseph and I and Thad also confirm that we love that peated stuff there. Hey, Rud Ghost. Hey, history nerd. DJ Keiko.
Keiko. DJ Keiko.
DJ Keiko. Oh,
yeah.
I was not even close.
That's all right. I said it wrong for a long time. So.
So this show is just this format's going to blow your mind. Basically what we do is we taste 4 whiskeys. The approximate running times are down there in the corner. And then we will talk about them. And here comes Joseph. And then we'll talk about them and we'll see what's going on. Hey, Joseph. Yay. Oh, you're not quite on screen yet. You will be in a moment. Here we go.
Hi. Sorry, I just needed a minute or two to prep some stuff because I am not ready. It's just been today's been very stressful. Hello.
You were just in Vegas and you came back. And Joseph, do you like whiskey?
I fucking love whiskey.
It's good to know. We're going to see if we can pull Seth over to the dark side here. So we did the intro. Are you ready to start with our first whiskey?
Are we live already?
Oh, we're live.
That would have been good to tell me right when I jumped in here. I didn't know that. I might have said something inappropriate or something. No one told me we were live.
Didn't pick your nose or nothing, man. You're fine.
I was just about to.
I
don't have. Let me drink some warm up.
Oh, okay.
There you go. I like it.
Warm.
That's done. Which whiskey is our first whiskey? I don't even have.
It's going to be the Bowmore. It's going to be this one here. This Bowmore 15-year-old. The darkest.
Bowmore 15. Light on it. Searching.
Darkest. So it's
Bowmore 15, darkest sherry cask finished. Is that it?
That's it. Darkest.
All right.
Cask finished.
I'm pouring it. What is the whiskey after this one so I can get it ready?
That will be the Balvenie Peat.
Calm down.
Not to
give
anything away too quickly, but it'll be that one.
All right, the Balvenie. I just want to pour them so that I can put the things on and start the smells accumulating.
It's one of the things we do on the show. We'd put a little coaster on top of it, get the nose all collected, so you get this nice burst of nose at the start here.
And then after that, what do we have?
And then the Arran, and then we're finishing with the Bunnahabhain. Let us know, Mrs. Pez. What are you drinking there? Have you got that Octomore opened? I'm very jealous of you having that Octomore. Oh wait, no, maybe not.
Oh, maybe he's got the same one.
I don't know. 13.1. Is that what you got?
Yeah, I think that's what I got. The 13.1. Yeah.
Very nice. Let's go into this Bowmore, shall we?
It looks, first and foremost, come on, look at that. That is dark whiskey. That looks good. Not a Scotch like I'm used to. You might have poured me a bourbon. You stuck bourbon in here to start off with.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, you did.
No.
It smells great.
We've said on this show many times, bourbon is garbage.
Yes.
I told Seth we weren't going to say that, and then of course the first thing I have to do when
and all my bourbon buddies are in here, so
Yeah, they're gone now. They're gone.
Andrew's views do not necessarily represent the views of I fucking love whiskey or the organization they're on.
There we go.
And so forth and whatnot.
Oh, you turned your camera off.
I did. Did it stop?
Yep.
I sorry, I literally just jumped in here and that's weird. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
What I wanted to do was that's what I wanted to do. Hide self view. Sorry, I'm still setting up my screen.
We'll forgive you.
Slange, everybody.
Slange.
This is my favorite time of the week. This 1 hour here. It's just a magical little time. This is a hayloft that's been caramel coated and with candy, and then we're rolling around in it.
Oh wow, look at all the people in chat. There's a lot of chat going on.
Love it. They don't even come to my stream when I do it this much. So like you guys are like, they're like, hey, there's going to be some interesting people with Pez this time, not just him. So
wait, we have to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you have a low bar to beat, a very low bar to beat there on Pez review. So
we're making Pez get drunk. So I think that's everyone.
That might be the thing. I will tell you, like, let me just say, I got like some dried fruits, like you say, like so we like to do like charcuterie boards like crazy at our house, and like the little apricots or the dates that you put on there. I'm picking up that a lot on the nose of this.
Yeah, no, I could smell that. That's yeah. It does smell like dried fruit, you know,
like almost too much, like really sweet candied, like you know.
Mm-hmm. Like I smell like those little cubes of fruit that are like dried, you know, or it's like cut, you know.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That smells great though.
I kind of don't want to go in because I like the nose so much, but I think
we got to taste it.
Make it
we have to taste it. We got to
let's go. I'm ready.
My favorite whiskey.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Well, that's
oh my,
that's definitely a sherry cask whiskey.
Yes. Yeah. That mustiness that comes with a good sherry cask, that musty, and then that smoke and that comes through and just like carries. It's nice.
Yeah, I mean, Bowmore, they do a very light peating on it, so it's not like one of the big punch in the mouth peats. It's just in the background there. With the,
I really like. I don't know that I've had many sherry cask whiskeys that have like a little bit of peat on them. Like I don't know that I've had any, and
it is just a touch too.
Yeah, I really like it. It's got that little bit of savory edge on there is real nice.
Oh.
You see my wife's drinking Laforgue 4 Oak right now. So like, she's going full smoke.
That's a beautiful dram there, that 4 Oak.
Oh, when I go back, I get that hay stuff that you were talking about, because I think that sherry has kind of brought that out in my nose. Like now I get that kind of that hay, that mustiness that you were talking about. Yeah.
Hey.
My wife will say, never do that again. She just sent me a text.
Okay. Hey, Mrs. Pez. We're not going to listen to her.
You can't tell us what to do. We fucking
love the boss
whiskey.
of me. Or maybe you are.
Oh my.
This is
good. Like no one loves whiskey until Joseph loves whiskey. Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. We were here vamping, hoping.
I've never had the 4 Oak, the Laforgue 4 Oak, I don't think, but I do love Laforgue. That's kind of I started on the Laforgue.
I think that might be a travel exclusive, like you can only get it in airports.
It could be.
Like I'm almost positive that's where we picked it up. Miss Pez will tell us if I'm wrong. She'll tell me.
Do you have some, Andrew?
Trust me.
I imagine I do somewhere.
I imagine that I can fly, especially while I'm asleep.
I've just moved. I can't see my whiskey at a glance. It's all in boxes over here. So I don't know. Who knows? I am loving this.
Yeah, I also agree. This is my favorite whiskey. Mrs. Pez says she's going to come up here, so we better play good. Well, good. Play good. We better play good.
Play good.
I haven't even had any whiskey yet. And I can't talk. I'm also very tired. I did fly in from Vegas today, so
your arms are super tired.
Oh my god,
exhausted. Wings.
But when Mrs. Pez does come up here, we'll be going, "Hey, Mrs. Pez."
Yeah, right. I'll do that. See what she likes it or not.
Highland Park is my go-to scotch. It's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Good one.
No,
Of course, there aren't many scotches I've met that I don't like. In fact, I don't think I've ever met a scotch I don't like. I don't think I ever have.
I was just telling Seth
Cutty
before
Shark.
Listen, they've got a new one out, the Prohibition. If you've got the Cutty Sark Prohibition, this thing changes your mind about Cutty Sark.
Okay, we'll see. Because like, I don't like that at all. That's one that I say like
Really?
I don't like. Yeah,
That
you
was
like Cutty?
That was my first whiskey. Was Cutty Sark.
I don't hate
this
it.
Came out
But that's a whiskey. I'm saying scotch,
Okay.
right?
This sucker, blended Scotch whiskey.
Yeah.
The price when it first
Oh,
came
is
out
it a
was like
scotch?
$15
It is a Scotch.
or something, and so we thought, oh, this has got to be gut rot, and
Right.
we tried it, and it was like, this is much better than. Anyways,
I'll try it. I mean, I'm always down to try it, whatever, you know. So,
But you can't get the
stuff.
Prohibition anymore. Wasn't it like sold out immediately once people found out it was good? Isn't that the deal with
it
that?
did, but then they came out with another batch, and I don't know if they're using the same recipe that they used the first time. So I haven't.
Can you
tried
get is the other batch available now? I want to try it.
I've seen it about, not at K&L, but I think at Bevmo and places like that.
That's such a Andrew Canadian moment right there. I've seen it about.
Oh, I've seen it about.
About, I can't even say it like that.
You
No,
try
but
the old and the new side by each.
Side by each.
I don't have Cutty Shark, so I'd have to purchase both. But we'll see. I might give it a whirl.
I've definitely had some whiskeys that I wasn't super fond of, but as far as scotches, I don't think I've had any that I was like that I hated. I'm not saying I, would drive over a group of people to get to Cutty Shark, but
That's right. If it's what they have at the bar, right? You can do it then.
but I would drink it. Yeah.
You'd have to get there. Seth, before the show, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I fucking love whiskey.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
I did.
I fucking
Okay.
love it too.
Okay, good.
So we're good to go. Yeah, history nerd. Yeah, I definitely know he gets every type of Highland Park. If they come out with something, he's buying it. So every iteration and that stuff that they come out with, and he gets it.
Joseph extends an olive branch to whiskey he would never extend to bourbon.
I think we'd be polite.
Bourbon is whiskey.
It is.
Well, it's whiskey with an E, which is the weirdest reversal.
Excellent.
Because every other American word that came from England got chopped. Like color, they dropped the U.
Yeah.
But whiskey, suddenly they threw in an E. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's backwards.
Because coming to America was the key to making it successful. I think it's what they thought. I don't know. I have no idea why it was, but
Wow, Seth is really doubling down on this bourbon experience. Isn't
exactly.
He?
I
Really,
have to.
I
Like
think
all
that's,
these-
but that unsurprisingly.
Yeah, these people would definitely kill me if I wasn't fighting hard for the American spirit.
We don't want you to die.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh,
I will say though, this might be an unfair start because it's a high bar to beat.
Seth,
this is
I
pretty good.
think you're going to be surprised by everything we're drinking today. I think everything is like, having seen the lineup just now, I think they're all going to be good. But
And we didn't really talk about it, but the mouthfeel in this is pretty good too. Like it sits on the tongue and like kind of stays there for a while. Like we've been talking for quite a bit, and I still in my mouth know I've drank scotch. Like I know I've drank scotch, so that's good.
yeah, it's got a nice finish. It's got
it does.
that long. It just keeps going. Like
well,
And just
one of the things they
subtle
do
smoke.
with lower percentage ABVs, anything below 46%, is they'll do a chill filter where they'll cool it and they'll kind of skim the oils off the top.
Yeah.
But because it then gets cloudy if the liquid gets cool, and you don't want that necessarily. People think the whiskey's wrong, even though it's fine. Above 46%, that doesn't happen, so they don't do it. So with a lot of the cask strength stuff, you do get that oily mouthfeel because they haven't scraped off those wonderful organic compounds.
Yeah.
I don't know with bourbon, do they? I mean, I'm guessing below 46%, they also chill filter, so that doesn't happen when you put an ice cube in it. But I don't know about in cask strength.
Unfortunately, bourbon likes to throw anything on a bottle to try to make like it's something special. So like they throw non-chill filtered on cask strength, and you're like, duh. Like, of course, it's not yes, everything is non-chill. Like, but yeah, I mean, it is just an appearance thing. But yeah, they use it as like a selling point. And so like you have like a lot of, people in the bourbon world that'll fight like crazy saying, it's not chill. If it's chill filtered, it's gross. I'm like, it has to be, or it'll be cloudy in your glass and you'll never pick it up off the bottle. So like if it's under 95, like they're probably going to do it. So
Yeah.
But yeah. Are we ruining it? I mean, putting water in it?
I like
Seth
him.
is like the
I
ideal
like him.
guest. How has he
I
not been on the
not
show
liked him.
before? He knows what the deal is.
Hi, Mo.
I think we have to ruin it for science. That is,
Okay.
but you don't have to. You can wait and see what we say. And if you know,
That's all right.
It's
I'm
up to you.
part. I agreed to everything.
Yeah.
When I came on here. Okay.
I can't find my Spey water. What is this? I can't find my Isla water. I can't do that, so I'm just using.
I
cold
have
water.
some Isla water.
Isla water. I don't have Isla water. I just have
I'm
distilled
gonna use my
water.
Isla water.
I mean,
How many are we going?
1 drop.
I do 1 drop to start because you can always add more. You can never take it out.
Okay.
And sometimes the water.
And 1 drop is often all you need for like there to be
The noticeable difference. Yeah. I like it, and like a lot of people, like when I have people come over and taste, like they ask, like, what does it do? And I said, well, it just makes the oils, like they come out of like, I don't know the scientific word, suspension or whatever. That's probably not the right word, but the oil starts to come apart again. So like the higher proof or the higher, like I feel like you get more of a change when you do it with the thing in there because the oils that you were talking about, they separate a little bit. So they pull out a little bit more flavor.
I think that I like what it does to the nose. I feel like it makes it sweeter. It does open it up a bit. At least the nose so far, I'm enjoying.
I think it pushes that hay nose to the background.
Yeah. I was going to say that, like, I get more earthy. I get a little more like a clay. I know it might sound unappealing, but like it's good, like a clay.
But the smoke is gone for me. Like it's more of an earthy smell, but that kind of like
100%.
that kind of edge of smoke is gone.
I agree.
Yeah. Your earth, I'm clay. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. I'm from Oklahoma, so everything's red clay. If it smells like earth, it's red clay for us.
I'm generally against water, but I'm pro water here.
I would agree. Yeah.
Some
it does something a little funky to the finish.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I still really like it. Is Thad drinking along with us today?
Yes, more barrel.
Okay.
I feel like I got more barrel off the finish, like more tannin, like it kind of a little bit more drying off the finish, which I actually crazily enjoy because I'm a bourbon guy. So I got that.
That is weird. Putting a little water in, it's drier in the finish. That is immediate. Wow.
That's what I was saying. It does something funky to the finish. That's exactly what it does. It gives it like a little bit of a bite, turns into sand at the end,
which is kind of cool. I mean, it makes it like it was pretty complex before, but that's like just some other extra. Here's a little more complexity for you. I like it.
Yeah. And it like, what is this? 43%? Like I always worry about putting water in something that is that low in percentage, because that usually, that it's the danger zone for me. But
Thaddeus, what do you think?
Yeah. What do you think, Thad?
I take it or leave it with water for me. I don't think it destroys it with water. It definitely imparts some interesting things for me, but it's definitely one of those, depending on what mood I'm in. Without water, for me, the nose was actually quite savory for me. Kind of like a pork, smoked pork. We'll go there. Cracked pepper, and hints of leather. I also got some artichoke in there, and like the sweetness that I got reminded me of like just taking a handful of Mike and Ike's and then just like shoving and just eating them all together.
No discernible sweetness, just something sweet. Oh man, like you just like
a flavor approaching licorice, but not getting there.
So Thad, like you just like literally that's right, Thad, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You literally just made my wife like so happy because she'll like say, "Oh, it's sweet." And I'm like, okay, that's a very broad term. But then like you just said it, and like she's like, "Yeah, see, I told you, sweet is the right term." I'm like, oh God.
And she loves Mike and Ike's.
She does love Mike and Ike's. So she's extremely happy that you just substantiated what she says to me and I give her a hard time about.
Yeah.
See,
glad I could help?
You hear him, Pez?
Question mark?
Yeah, exactly.
And then one final note on the nose for me that was a little strange. It kind of reminded me of like washed romaine lettuce that had just been cut. Like you're preparing a salad, but like that's.
For me, it smells like the romaine from your garden that's like fresh and kind of purpley, you know what I mean? Not like store-bought. And it has like a smell to it. Like you can, you get it from your garden, you can smell the romaine.
Oh yeah. And then for the taste, it was a little too complex for me to pick out specific notes, unfortunately. So for me, the best I could do is like hot, sweet leather, which I loved. It was very smooth and wet for me. And that was about it. The finish for me reminded me, it got bitter for me and just reminded me of just like bar bitters that you would have.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then for with water on the nose, it imparted a little bit of funk. It like kind of like raw whitefish, like you're about to cook it, but like that weird like small like hint of it. A lot of the other stuff that I like kind of died down, but more citrus notes come through for me on the nose with the water, which I always love a good citrus. For the taste, it got sweeter and imparted more woody notes for me. And then the finish was less bitter but better.
Man, I love Thad's notes. We have to move on to our next whiskey because I made the show slow. It's my fault.
Hi, I'm Jay. I'm Andrew. Anyways, number 2. Every year, Balvenie, which is a Highland whiskey, does a little release of, or Speyside whiskey, actually, sorry. There's a very slight distinction. Speyside is actually part of the Highlands, but it's a more distinct region. Anyways, they do a week where they peat the barley before they make it. So generally a very high light spirit is then peated. And I get the peat week every chance I can when I see them come up. And this is 14. This is, I believe it was 2002. It was distilled and put into this bottle. And that's kind of mostly what I know about it. 48.3% American oak.
Yeah, there you go.
This is amazing. What's happening? I don't like Balvenie. This is not true.
Mo, that is a savant, so we all love him. Yeah, this is amazing.
I mean, that's like honeysuckle. That's like that. It has to have that citrus Dad likes so much. There's citrus. There's honeysuckle.
Yeah, that small, tight little flower that that is right here.
The part that when you were little, you pulled it out, and you chewed on. Oh man, that is.
It reminds me of a specific candy, and I'm trying to think what it is. Like I'm definitely getting. I'm almost. It's like on the edge of my brain.
It's got whatever the candy. It's got a little lemon in it as well.
Yeah.
That's that citrus. This is just crazy. This is just from a bourbon cask and some peated barley. Like that's the main flavor influence that's gone into this.
It's funny because I was having like the standard Balvenie this weekend, when I was in Vegas. We and like this is nothing like it. Like it was I like Balvenie. And it's good, so smooth, and this is just has so much more interesting stuff going on. This almost smells like a sherry cask to me because it has kind of that candy store quality. I mean, I know it's not.
It's so pale. It's just ex-bourbon. Yeah. It's toasted.
That's a good thing. Yeah, look at that. Like and it's got some decent, like there's some oil in it because those legs are pretty nice coming down the glass.
I mean, I guess the candy is kind of like sweet tarts, like the yes. Like I would the ones that are dry and crunchy. When you were a kid, you'd get them all rolled up, the sweet tarts, and
yeah. It's not quite that though.
It's like that once, but better. Like if that was the quintessence of that, like if the god of sweet tarts gave you some sweet tarts that were like
the god of sweet tarts.
the best sweet tarts ever, then they would smell like this.
And then you lay down in a field of honeysuckle and we're chewing them. So you get an aroma of that flower as well.
It's like I like the sweet tart thing. I think that's like spot on because of that citrus and that stuff in there. But then like it's not confectionery sweet, it's honey sweet. It's like if you made sweet tarts with a natural sweetness.
Yeah.
Like if they had this is good.
Gordon Ramsay
smell dirt. I smell like dirt, like dry dirt, not like clay or wet dirt, but like dry dirt in there.
This is why I fucking love whiskey. It's
this I mean, come on.
Parts of the earth. It's just been liquefied and it's amazing.
And where I normally in like a scotch get like a dried fruit more, like this is like a fresh fruit. Like I bit into an apple and like It doesn't taste like it's preserved. There's no preservatives in it. It's like this is
That
all
zingy
so
juice
fresh smelling.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, MJ. It smells like dirt, but like dirt when you were a kid and you would go outside and the sun would be shining down and there'd be like grass and like, dirt. And it's like the smell of outside as a kid, or you lie down and you're looking at bugs, that it's just like a sense memory for me of like the sun and it's summer. And, for me, I love it when whiskey like brings up that sort of nostalgic thing.
Yeah, it reminds you of a time.
Yeah.
See, and like there's not very many, let's just bourbon or scotch or whatever. There's very few things that bring your brain to a time and place of your life. Like it definitely like you bookmark things with whiskey and with bourbon. You're like,
And sometimes
I'm going to
it-
remember this. Yeah.
Memory you forgot as well.
Yeah.
I love it when it unlocks that, like that smell of wet sand I've gotten on one of the whiskeys, and you just go back to childhood. It's amazing.
It's got to be all the cool organics.
I've got to
that are
taste
in-
this.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, yeah,
Is it okay
we gotta
if I
bring it.
taste
We
it?
gotta.
I've got to taste it.
Say it, Andrew. Say it. I
My
know you're
favorite
thinking it.
whiskey.
Yes,
Whiskey.
it is my favorite whiskey.
all that high, beautiful spirit, that very clean, crisp taste that you expect, that kind of grassy, flowery Highland, and then the peat underneath it. They just blend really nicely. You'd expect the peat to be like this bottom heavy thing they slapped onto this taste, but it's just a beautiful shape of taste.
It's like spun sugar with like, that smoky sort of stuff, just a hint of it in there. It's a spun sugar that's like roasted to the point where it's caramelized or has that dark Maillard reaction, or it's like slightly smoked. But this is amazing. I didn't want to swallow it. Like I just wanted to keep it in my mouth.
Oh yeah. And like I switched it around quite a bit and I never was able to find a bitter spot. Like a lot of times when I'll move whiskey around in my mouth, I'm like, ooh, that's bitter right there. Like none. I don't have any bitter spots on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can see it, but look at the legs on that goes down. Like it's just, that's pretty. I get that. See, to me, like the peat on this is a little hard for me to find. Like, honestly, I maybe compare it to the last one. Like the last one was easy. Like I was able to find some
versus this is Highland.
Yeah.
You're
So it's
not wrong.
a little harder for me to find like traditional. And again, I'm not as into scotch as much as you guys. So like peat to me has a very narrow, like you guys are making me see it out from a little bit different, which is nice. I appreciate it. But like, it's not as front forward, but it's definitely there. It's definitely there.
It's
And
shy.
I think
It's more
the
shy than
creme
the last one.
brulee type stuff you were talking about, like the sugar that's almost like caramel, but it's almost too much. Like that's kind of where I'm getting it. It's more like a burn than a peat.
Yes.
To me. Okay.
That's exactly what I'm getting. Yeah.
But so light, just it, but that's accent. That's not a dominating flavor by any means. That's a very accented flavor, but it's good.
I mean, if because there is a little bit of that rubber, tire rubber in there. If you look for it, that kind of suggests that is an indicator of peat, but you have to really look for it.
You remember those like little candies you can get, like orange slices?
Oh yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of that when I go back. There's a little bit of like that kind of lemony that I got now has kind of turned to a little orangey to me.
Those are like my brother's favorite candies. He would always eat those.
I might have eaten them to the point that I hate them now when I smell them. When I was young, my mom used to get them and I remember grabbing the bag and just, I hate them now, but they have fond memories to what we were just talking about. There's a memory that came up immediately when I smelled that.
Now, this is a perfect example. I was willing to try the last one with water. I really don't want to put water in this. I'm worried. I'm worried about what it will do.
All right, guys. You guys are scotch guys. I'll do it first.
You don't have to. You don't have to. Thad always does it too. So,
all right, here we go. I'm going to do one. I got quite a bit left, so I'm going to do 2 drops.
Okay.
Just because I have quite a bit left. Okay.
You're an expert. You can make those kind of risky decisions. You know what you're doing.
I feel like you're under control. You don't need to.
No.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a fan of the water.
On the nose immediately. Wow.
It actually, okay, this could be me personally. If you like this, like the brininess comes like straightforward to me when I put water in it. So I get like a fishy, briny. I'm not a fan of the water.
I mean, I've liked whiskeys that had that, but I don't want that in this because the way it was before.
I mean, I could be crazy.
Perfect.
One of you guys have to make sure that I'm not like just have a horrible nose.
I'll probably put water in it. I'm going to drink a little more.
Well, no, Thad will baseline us as well. So I'm going to try a little bit more.
I'm going to put some Isla water in here because I'm crazy.
Yeah, madman. Don't put Isla water in the
I already have some.
Speyside whiskey.
It didn't impact the flavor as much. It muted things a little bit, but it didn't impact it. Like didn't change it a whole lot. Muted.
I kind of like the nose. I feel like the little bit of extra brine I kind of like, even though it knocks the sweetness down a bit.
Yeah. See, and I love that like the floral, that honeysuckle stuff that exploded when I first tasted it. Like it's definitely not there when you add water.
This
reminds
me more of like a Colila or something that's more from, that area that does have more. It brings the peat out a bit more for me in a kind of briny way.
Like almost barbecue type. Like I'm barbecuing on the beach type peat.
Yeah, more savory.
Yeah, definitely changed. That's perfect. It changed it from like kind of confectionery sweet to like this savory thing. Yeah, but I didn't really feel like it was super different on the taste.
I don't like what it does to the finish.
The finish, I almost get like a rosemary or something. That kind of like it's turned from a citrus to a kind of a rosemary sting.
Yeah. It became savory. That's perfect. What he said was perfect. It just became everything that was sweet just kind of moved a little bit to the savory side of sweetness. Like tied into like barbecue sauce. I smoke meats all the time. So this is like, tied into like a barbecue sauce over to that thing. Like the rubs that I put on it.
Yeah, it's like a dry rub. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Dry rub 100%. Yeah. That's it.
Does that closet look like that? I'm guessing it may do.
Yeah, there's
I noticed there's like an infinity cask or something behind you there. Are you just like putting a little bit of all your whiskey in that cask?
No, my wife, you just got me in trouble. So my wife bought this. It's really awesome. So she bought me this barrel. Like it's really awesome. It says Campbell on it. It's all this stuff. Nice. And as you can see, there's no spout in it because I haven't filled it yet. So like, I know. So I'm excited to see what she'll say right now immediately. Just the fact that you brought it up. But yes, not one.
She says grr.
Yep, that's it.
I think she was referring to the closet.
Yeah, both probably. Actually, probably both. I will say that I got a bank statement update right before the show about whether I should keep buying whiskey or not. So like I'll let's just put it like at that.
Oh, a gift several years ago, by the way, is what she says.
Wow. Yeah, no, I'm sorry I brought it up now.
It's okay. It's okay. Hopefully, well, you did send enough of this that I left a little for her to try all of these. So You're welcome, Miss Pez. You're welcome.
We should see what Thad has to say about this sucker.
I'm gonna go with no on the water for me.
I agree.
I think it's right.
Not because it's a bad whiskey with it. It's because it just, in my opinion, makes it worse. Without water, though, let's start from the top. On the nose, right off the bat, I got banana nut bread. So like bananas and yeast right in there. I totally agree with the honeysuckle. And it's kind of like you're walking through a field of tall grass, something that has been cut in, all summer long, and fall is coming. There was a hint of like a cured Italian meat in there. A hint of like a whipped cream or something creamy in there. And then pears is the fruit that came out for me. And I really enjoyed all that. Going to the taste, it was sweet, but like not sugar. It's that carnival sweetness that you get at every stand that you stop at. It doesn't matter where you go. Like it's like been dusted with carnival sugar. There's some apples and pears in there, and like a nice undertone of old wood. Not rotten wood, but old wood. And then going to the finish, the finish for me is really refreshing. Like it's refreshing and green, and it's like taking a drink of water from a waterfall in the woods. Like it's awesome. As far as when I added the water on the nose, it became very super woody. The floral went away. A lot of the savory stuff went away. And then there were some cinnamon and nutmeg, like those kind of wintry spices came through though for me. And then I totally understand the brininess. For me, it was more fishy, like a salmon, which I love salmon, but also that's not what I wanted in this. On the taste, it like breathed life into it. It made it very effervescent and like very bubbly in my mouth, and like very, very
Look at that.
just fun to have in your mouth. But it also made it a lot more bitter, like medical bitters, and there were some berries in there. The finish is kind of where it ruined it for me because it stayed very, very bitter for me. But it eventually turned green. So
Yeah,
The water.
I'm with you. The
reviews.
water on this
The water
one is
is
definitely
eh.
a
Yeah.
thumbs down. I'm giving it a thumbs down.
I think it's worth it to try, but it's not an improvement, and it's better without it.
I'm cleansing my palate right now immediately.
That's fine.
We should move on to the next whiskey, right? Is it?
Oh, now Mr. Late is now Mr. Keep Us on Time. Punctual, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Is that me? Are you talking about me?
No.
Am I Mr. Late?
You were late. I'm not. I don't know who else. I'm just saying.
Wow. You know what? I prefer to be called Mr. I fucking love whiskey.
Thought so.
That's a good one. That's an okay one.
Hey,
Is it fishy after the water? Yes, it's fishy after the water.
It was kind of more fishy after the water.
Yeah, I didn't like he said. I like grill, like I like salmon and stuff like that too. Yeah, but it's I don't want it in a drink. Like I never thought about blending up salmon and drinking it. So like
sometimes I like it in a scotch, but but only if it's like at the start. Like I don't necessarily. I know it sounds weird, but sometimes scotch has some weird flavors.
Ew.
But in a good way.
It's like a you.
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was very fishy before water. No.
Yeah.
No, before water was like floral and beautiful and like just like perfumey and like just like everything but that. But the little brine, it was just a brine that kind of leveled it and kept it all together. But before like that brine turned to kind of fishy, and I didn't enjoy it with the water.
Yeah. I think Mo is just tuning in for Thad's descriptions because they're so good. I mean, they're good. He makes us.
If I ever have a product, Thad will clearly. I'll be hitting you up to write my product description if I ever come out with something.
Here we go. I am super excited about this one. I have not tasted it yet. This is an Arran port cask finish. So it probably started its life in, I would guess, American bourbon barrels and finished in a port cask. It is 50%. It's from the Highlands or the Islands, as they're trying to create a new region there. And lately, I've been super impressed by the stuff they're turning out here. So
now, are they calling it the Islands or the Highlands?
Oh, damn it. I think we need to go and actually talk the Scotch board and tell them it should be called the Highlands.
But then
Highlands.
Then Highlands. Hey, you're killing me, Islands. Anyway.
Hi.
Oh, Highlands.
It's the 420 Isla. The Highlands. I'm just kidding.
Excuse me.
All right, I'm opening it.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh my God, it's my favorite whiskey again.
Now this is that's port. That's definitely it's similar to, like a sherry whiskey. It's got sort of it's like a candy store. Oh boy. This is probably my favorite whiskey, but I'm gonna save my verdict till after I taste it. But I'm sure that's what I will say.
This is dumb, but I think like a cough lozenge has been dropped out of someone's mouth and it's kind of cemented itself to the deck of a ship. And this is what I'm smelling. Now, I'm just saying.
No, yeah.
It's funny that you say that because in my mind, I actually thought of iodine. Like something medicinal. Like, and like when you say that, like I think we're both like, there's something medicinal about this.
There was this weird mascot in Portland, Oregon called the Cinnamon Bear. right? It was like a
Cinnamons.
very scary looking mascot. But I always imagined it as a bear made out of cinnamon. To me, this is the cinnamon bear, but he's rubbing like, icy hot on, on himself. Like it's the smell of cinnamon bear plus icy hot.
Cinnamon that's great. Like I was thinking, what is that? But to me, like it's cinnamon. Like, have you ever had Big Red Chew? Like our Big Red gum?
Yeah.
Like where it's like not really cinnamon. It's like this artificial thing that they call cinnamon, but that's what this is.
Or Red Hots.
Red Hots, exactly.
Yeah.
Not really. Yeah.
Fake cinnamon.
Like candy,
Mrs. Pez
like
is
super
out of her
candied
Lefroy.
cinnamon. Yeah.
You know what, Mrs. Pez, come down and grab something from Seth's setup there. I think there's some good whiskeys. She could.
Yeah, you should try what we're having.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Try a little bit of this.
I've got it right here. I've got a little bit extra. Come on, Miss Pez. It depends on how relaxed she is. Like if she's completely like in her pajamas and stuff like that, she's like, you can hand it to me off camera.
Yeah,
Like,
well, do that. Hand it off camera. I'd love to hear what she has to say too.
Yeah,
it is kind of funny. Like, you talked about like how whiskey kind of brings up memories, and like we all like talked about something medicinal, but very different medicines. Like I was like iodine, you were like lozenges, and you were like icy hot. That's pretty awesome. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's pretty cool.
I mean, those phenols are medicinal. Oh, she's coming. Oh, she's coming for that.
There's also something funky down in there too, like an organic sort of like stewed plums or something.
Get your own glass. Oh, she brought a glass and everything, guys. She wasn't not playing around.
She's a professional.
Hello, Mrs. Pez.
Hello.
You gotta bend down so they can see you.
I can.
Look.
Hello.
Can you see me?
Yeah. All right. She's gonna try this exactly what we're trying. So we'll see what she gets any medicinal stuff out of it. Here you go. You can say what you think.
I'm sure Thad will have a completely different take on this. He'll probably be like,
Yeah, you guys are off the mark.
Oh, you want she held it up like she did you guys see that? Like hopefully everyone picked that up.
No.
Like I poured it and I was gonna save a little bit for me to have it after.
No.
She looked at me and then like swirled her glass right in my face. Like I saw there was more in that bottle, immediately give it to me.
What's
Oh,
hers
wow.
is hers and what's yours is hers. I don't know what
That's
you
right.
don't understand.
Which is this one?
This is the
One that you guys are tasting right now.
this is-
Ardbeg's good. I like Ardbeg.
Oh, Mo, I wish I was there sipping with you.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. Let's taste this sucker.
Yeah, very pale.
Mm.
Double down on the cinnamon to me.
To me, though, there's those plums. Like the plums are stewed in like in cinnamon,
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, it is. It's like holiday, like the smell of like how you have the cinnamony like fruits that you're making. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, that cinnamon sting is there. It's a spicy drink.
The nose is not my favorite.
She doesn't like the nose.
I heard it.
She said it wasn't her favorite. She didn't say she didn't like it.
Almost like a unflavored like cough medicine kind of.
Oh, she's with you. She's with you on the cough medicine, the lozenge. Yeah, she got it.
Yeah, that was sitting on the deck of a boat after popping out of someone's mouth.
Even on the tongue, it has a little bit of a.
Is it after someone spit it up, like popping out of their mouth, or
It has like a little bit of a medicinal, like a. Yeah.
like you just made it way more attractive in here than like when you come on here. Like everything just got much better. Their ratings went up. All of our ratings went up by like 7%. And we're getting ready to have things that are going to be in the chat being like, how the hell is why is Pez with her? Like that's right. That's what we're getting ready to have in the chat. So.
Yeah. So it tastes very smooth and clean, but the nose is not my favorite.
And I will tell you, she can walk in anywhere and be like, oh, someone's eating peanut butter. And like, it's like 3 rooms away. And she'll be like, how did you smell that? Like her nose. So like, if she doesn't like the nose, it's probably going to have a hard time like overcoming that with her. Cause that's her dominant one.
It's kind of like Fireball, but I feel like Fireball has more bite than this does. Probably because of the alcohol in Fireball. Like Fireball is not smooth at all. This is very smooth.
This is not trying to be cinnamon. I think the cinnamon note just comes through. So I don't feel like it's not as fake as that.
Yeah, it's not trying. Yeah, exactly. Like this isn't made to mix. Like where Fireball and those cinnamon whiskeys, they're made to mix. Like this is made to be enjoyed by itself. I will say that and it's not like after I tasted it, the cinnamon kind of went away from the false cinnamon, the cinnamon flavoring to like a more traditional, like a baking cinnamon. Like this is what I would put in to make like a cinnamon toast or something like that.
And I don't feel like anyone overdid it on this recipe either. I don't feel like
No.
the lid came off the cinnamon or anything like that. It's just it's a very nice. Oh,
Of the ones we have, this is a pretty unique. This is a unique one. Like it's got some uniqueness to it that I really like.
mm-hmm. Before you did join, we were talking, and I fucking love whiskey.
I had to break it to him that I fucking love whiskey as well.
Yeah,
I had to break it to him.
I thought so.
The real reason that I'm late, it was late, you guys, is that I fucking love whiskey.
That's why you were late. Exactly.
I was drinking whiskey, and then I was like, "Oh, I better." We should probably science it, right?
I will tell you right now, I'm more scared of science on this one than of any of it we had so far. Like I'm actually afraid what might happen. Like
well,
what might open up, and this is scary.
But yeah, let's So I think the odds are better if it's a little higher in percentage. But I'm gonna
someone else do it.
1. I'm only going 1 because I'm scared.
Never a bad idea.
Bing. You got to go first. I'm not even smelling it. Uh-oh. That I will tell you that face didn't give me any confidence.
I don't like that.
Neither. The face didn't give me any confidence.
It really mellows it out and like kind of deadens it. Yeah, the cinnamon is there, but it's like it's rolled up in carpet and it's over in the corner. Like it's and
is it bound in duct tape and ready to go to the lake?
Plums are more there, but I think only because the cinnamon is so subdued. But it's like the plums just seem kind of like overcooked or yeah. All right, let's see.
It's so unique without the water.
It's interesting. With the water, it is interesting. There is that weird, funky, organic taste. Like once again, what I'm calling the plums is more. I can get it more in my mouth. Like it's all around and not as bad. Like I like what it does to the taste more than I like what it does to the nose. But I would say don't put water in it. But I think it does, which is surprising to me because usually I don't like what water does to the taste. But this is, I think, kind of interesting.
If you like plums, if you like that stewed fruit, then you will like water with it. If you don't like the stewed fruit, then you're not going to like water with it. But it definitely makes everything way muted, and it becomes more one note to me. Like this became way more one note to me after.
It's less complex, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
It became almost muddy in the nose. It just,
yes.
It's like
that cartoon thing. Someone just melted, just like.
It's like you turned it down, or you're listening to it like you put cloth over your headphones, and now you can't hear them as well. It's like muted.
Yeah. Smart, Mrs. Pez, don't put water. You've been saved.
Although I do get a little more of the wood. Like I didn't get any like wood like from a barrel, like the barrel wood. Like I get a little bit more of that in the nose than I got. I didn't get any of it before, and I'm able to find that. I think maybe because it muted the cinnamon, muted that other stuff. Cinnamon like dominated before, so.
Hardbake is gross.
How dare you? How dare you, history nerd? How dare you? How dare you?
Never invited.
I think maybe history nerd doesn't like Peat is probably.
I'm guessing that's
what's going on.
No.
But he likes Highland Park. That's just he loves the Highland Park cast strength and stuff like that. But our bag's a different monster. Let's don't.
Like Orkney. So I was going to say the peat is the region. Like so, what grows in that region and dies, that becomes the peat as it gets compressed and compressed. Right. So Islay, a lot of seaweed, a lot of iodine based in there. Highlands, a lot more kind of trees and grasses. And Orkney, nothing grows there because the wind is insane. So it's just low grasses that have just been compressed, low grasses and flowers. And so the peat there tends to be a lot lighter in nature once it gets burnt.
So what he's trying to say nicely, history nerd, it becomes something that's very approachable for people with bland palates.
Yes. People with defective palates can stomach.
I'm related to the guy, so I can say whatever I want.
Okay, Mrs. Pez is getting apples. That's pretty interesting. I do feel like there's like a bit of apple pie possibly, or like,
because of cinnamon, like you're getting some of that, like anything that's made like to go into something. Like I'm stewing fruits, I'm making fruits to go into a pie or go into bread. Like, but Golden I definitely
delicious. That's very specific.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever had a golden delicious apple.
She hasn't either. She made that up. She looked it up on the internet.
Oh man, why do you keep digging this hole? I haven't.
She's not because she's not up here.
Cask.
Because she's not up here right now. So.
She's watching the show. She's
you.
responding.
Whoops.
Thad, what's your thoughts on this?
The more I drink it, the more I'm inclined to say no on water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll just say it. No on water for me on this one. Without water, I got some stone fruits. I got some funnel cake in there. I totally understand the artificial cinnamon. And some week old flowers. So like a hint of like grocery store bought flowers, but they're like a week old and droopy, and you know they don't really smell like flowers anymore. And then I got some bread pudding that has been like dusted with nutmeg over the top of it. For me, the taste was quite sweet, but a good sweet. Like I got butterscotch caramel. It was very velvety for me. It was quite hot, but in a good way. That might have been because of the cinnamon in there as well, and some pears. The finish for me was quite numbing, actually, so not really much notes there other than, you know, some tingles. But with water on the nose, I was getting some more fresh bread. Like you walked into an old, musty wooden closet that's full of woolen clothes. And then for me on the taste, it got interesting. The water brought out more fruitiness for me. It brought out more earthiness in the form of just like dirt. And some printing paper, but you haven't printed on it yet. Like you just opened up the ream and you're restocking the printer.
Lapping it open, yeah.
And then funny enough, even though that printing paper has not been printed on yet, there's also a little bit of ink in there as well. So yeah.
I can see it.
Cool. Man, I love your notes. Sad.
He's like
I know, calm down with the notes. Like you made me sound dumb. Like I immediately feel like as I'm listening to him, I'm like, I feel like I'm an idiot for saying big red shoe.
We're here
Like, I feel
every
like I'm an
week.
idiot.
That's why we go first, because if we went afterwards, we'd be like, we'd just go, yeah, Thad. What you
Thad
Exactly
said.
what he said.
What Thad
Ditto.
said, yeah.
Ditto on that guy.
We should move on to the last one.
We
right?
should move on to the last one here. I don't want to because I fucking love whiskey and
I know.
before it's had its time.
Now, just before we do though, Seth, like that first whiskey, you were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! Like, what a strong start." But I feel like none of these have been weak so far. Like,
No.
Do you feel
There
the
hasn't
same
been
way?
anything.
Yeah.
I will tell you. So what we've drank so far, to be honest, like my favorite one so far has been the Balvenie Peat Week.
Yeah, that one's really
Originally
special.
Don't like Balvenie, so
I don't. That's maybe that's because it was so surprised. I was ready for it to be not good, that it was so good. The water like turned it to more of the what I usually get from Balvenie, but like the first part was fantastic. That honeysuckle was just it was great. Like I'm excited. Like I'm glad she didn't want a taste of that one. She'll get one later.
she's gonna come back for the rest.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Don't worry.
She'll be up here later.
I'm super excited to try this one. I bought it a while back. I did have 1 dram of it when I first got it. It's a Bunnahabhain. It's 13 years old. 13. And what better for Halloween weekend than 13?
Oh, there you go. I like that.
57.7% here. This is matured in a first filled butt, a sherry butt.
You could see by the color that's like, sherry.
Yeah, it's got some. It's the second darkest one, right? The first one was definitely the most like amber of all.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, a lot of candy whiskeys today, because I'm sure this smells is going to be candy.
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm
gonna let you guys pop it before I pop my little wood cap off.
The color from sherry comes from part of the fermentation process because it's made with white grapes. I did not know that. I thought sherry was made with red grapes. It's made with white grapes. And part of the sunturn aging thing causes it to turn red once the thing grows on the top of it. The thing, that's a technical term for an organic thing that grows on the top of it. I
like that. That's what I call it too, the thing.
We should smell the thing and then taste the thing, and then
let's taste the thing and do the thing.
Yeah.
Let's all do our thing.
Oh man, there it is. This is Andrew's favorite whiskey. And probably mine as well. That is so Bunnahabhain right there.
Oh Lord God,
That is
have mercy.
That is like, yeah, that is right in the pocket of Bunnahabhain, right in there.
Wow.
Okay, so I have never had a Bunnahabhain before.
It's an Islay. It's
I've never had one.
very faintly peated, I think. I think it does have a faint bit of peat. It's not heavily peated.
On the nose, dare I say, my favorite whiskey right now.
You may say, and in fact, you did. As the
I don't think a guest has ever said that this was their favorite whiskey. I'm really glad that Seth did. Like, I feel like he's like one of us.
It's season 6, and this, I think you're right. I think this is the first time.
This is, you know what it is? I think it's because it has that sherry cask has given it some of the traditional, it's almost cherry. Like there's almost like a cherry, which is what I love in bourbon. Like if a bourbon is a strong cherry bourbon, like I love that. And it almost brings that cherry note that I really love to pick up in a bourbon.
Cherry or black currant.
Yeah, I can get that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask Miss Pez to help me out here. But like, so I went to college at this small college in Kansas called Bethany, and it was a Swedish college. It was like the town was in Sweden. So what was the name of that berry? It was like Lodenberry. I don't remember. But this reminds me.
I would guess. But did you say you went in Kansas, but it was in Sweden?
No, it was a Swedish colony it was Swedish people that came and made the town. It was called Lindsberg, was the name of the town.
I see.
Okay, so it was a Swedish town that had a college that in there. And
I'm
so
Canadian. I don't get these things.
Yeah. So
don't go to that town during
Lingonberry. That's it. Lingonberry. It's
Lingonberry.
I will tell you, like when you said currant, like it's funny because I hadn't thought about that, but like the lingonberry is like if a currant and a cherry had a baby.
So it also kind of reminds me of salmon berries, which is like a berry that you find in Oregon. It's the color of salmon, and it's like lighter and it's like tart, but in a very mild way. Kind of reminds me of salmon berries.
Yeah, exactly. Look at what Miss Pez just put in. What you said, and look at what Miss Pez just put in there.
Lingonberry.
She said it's sweet but pretty tart is exactly what you described. So like it's 100% the same type of thing probably.
And the thing I like about blackcurrant, like it's mostly I think I've only had it in jam, but it's like cherry, but it's got like kind of a deeper, richer sort of taste to it, you know. Like
I had someone make an old fashioned one time with blackcurrant instead of cherry.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was pretty good.
I want that. Oh my God, this is my favorite. I don't want to stop sipping this.
Yeah, I could just sit in this nose for
this could be a candle
half an hour
that everyone would buy.
Yeah. I wish they had candles that smelled like this. I mean, we've got to taste it, but I honestly kind of don't want to. Like, I just, I mean, I know I'm going to love it, but I still just like, the thing I when I do taste something, it to me, it makes the nose exciting. It heightens it. It pluses it.
It charges it when you get to.
Yeah. So for that reason, is it cool if I mix with Pepsi? No. Mix what with Pepsi? You can mix yourself with Pepsi. Or any other beverage.
That sounds a little aggressive. Mix yourself with Pepsi.
Why don't you mix your face with Pepsi?
All right, I'm going in. Like that. I'm tasting this. I'm doing it.
This is one of my favorite Bunnahabhains. 100%. It is so like it's not that cloying sweetness. It is so tart and citrusy. Yes. It's like star fruit or I don't know, like almost like a not ripe mango, if that tasted good.
But I feel like whatever it is, it's had a Maillard reaction and it's got that kind of like crystallized darkening around whatever it is on this in the center there.
Ooh, I would try blackcurrant and Guinness. I feel like that sounds like it'd be good. Really good.
I don't know how to explain what I'm tasting.
I think that's the best part of it.
It's really got a supercharged tartness though, which you don't often find in like sherry cask whiskeys, and that's one of the things I really like about it. Is it because it doesn't have that cloying sweetness? It's
No, I
it's
would
very
not
bouncy.
classify this as a sweet whiskey at all.
No, it's not sweet.
What is it? What is it? It's Thad will say, "Oh, come on, it's this, Andrew." But
It's sour and tart.
There is a flavor there that's familiar to me, but like because I've had it before, but like maybe once. Like it's something. It's almost maybe rhubarb. Is that it? Like it's like a rhubarb. Like there's a sweetness to it, but like you know how rhubarb and like a strawberry or something like that, like straight cuts the sweetness and gives this kind of like this bitter tartness because it's not just tart like a tart the gray like it's like something that you would eat that you would consider tart like you know like a lemon or something like that. It's
no.
The tartness has like there's something else to it like that's a bittering it because it's dry on my tongue. It's a little dry on my tongue, but like not in a bad way. It's all good. Like there's nothing bad about this. I don't
like I would say it's kind of like kiwi, but only if kiwi was
Thank
more
you. Yeah,
tart.
Jay.
Like once again, a kiwi that's not ripe. Like if you've ever listened, it's very firm and it has that tartness to it. Then that you know, and more flavor really. Like a
kiwi,
a ripe kiwi is very very gentle, but a unripe kiwi is tart.
Rhubarb stalk beaten on top of a unripe kiwi. I think.
Yeah.
This is this is great. We fucking
but there is a savory
we fucking
thing
love
in there
whiskey.
Too.
Okay, calm down, everyone.
Don't make Seth come at you. Don't make him come at you.
Like I'll jump through this screen. I can't, but I would if I could.
You know, it kind of reminds me of that chili lime seasoning from Trader Joe's, or like the sort of chili like if you get like from a street vendor, you put on like the fruit. You know, that makes it tart, but also spicy.
Yes, asparagus. That's it. Yes.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
That's it right there. Tahini, yeah, that's it.
You get it at if you go to the Dole Whip place at Disneyland, you can get it and put it on there.
Yeah, because like we're focusing so much on the sweet and that tart part, but there is a savory note to this too. Like there's something savory that carries in this on the back end of this. I mean, it's trying to hide behind all the stuff we're talking about, but it's definitely there.
Yeah, like a nice little piece of roasted pork or something. That's,
Exactly. Something meaty. I was going to say that. Like it's meaty. It's something cooked.
Now, I'm certain the warehousemen are going through and tasting some of these casks, and some of them they just kind of like put a chalk mark on and go like something really excellent is happening in this cask,
or either that or they're like this one might mysteriously disappear.
I've just had my second taste, because I hadn't. Like it was, and I'm still surprised at how tart it is and how like it's different than what I expected. Like the nose doesn't really prepare you for that, but like it's just such a different taste, you know.
I am not putting water in this. I'm just telling you.
I'm not going to either.
I don't care what you experience when
this reminds me of an SMWS, just because it's so surprising, and I feel like it's like that. Like you said, someone was like, "This has an interesting flavor. Let's put it in a bottle."
It is an independent bottler, so. Yeah.
So is this like where we lean heavily on Thad for the water? Because like I don't want to do it either.
Yeah. You can do that. He's going to put water in either way. So we can't, it's not like we're making him do it.
Unless he says it's amazing with water, like I'm just going to drink it like
we rely on Thad's sickness to help us get through whiskeys where we don't want to put water in it.
All right, Thad, what's the story, Morning Glory?
Well, I just added water based off of the nose. I'm going to say no. But we can go through the rest of it without water.
Yeah. I want to hear what you
think. Me, I don't do this often, but I will say that this is my favorite whiskey.
Is
there a graphic for you saying that? We need the graphic.
No, but the whole screen needs to say that.
I'll just put them all up. But yeah, no, like this is magical. This is amazing.
Yes.
For me, on the nose though, I got more sweetiness than tarts, but a good sweet, not like just like eating sugar. It was macaroons, coconut candies in there, saltwater taffy, brioche buns, some fresh custard. Like it was made that day and you're eating it for dessert. Like it's just good. And then you even got like fresh pretzels in there. Like I don't want to say Auntie Annie's, but like it's made like within like 10 minutes of you eating it. like in there. For me, the taste was like it was super woody. It's like wood that had wood notes that had a side of wood notes on top of that, but they were all different like types of wood. Like it's like, hey, cedar, let's invite oak and like pine and teak over for a party, right? And then it was tart. It was sweet. The taste honestly reminded me of a little bit of like a Riesling, but not like overly sweet, like a mild Riesling wine.
Hmm.
And then there were some marshmallows in there, and then some herbal notes. The best one I could pick out though was sage. And then some honey nut Cheerios, like some cereal, but like sweet cereals in there. And the finish, I love the finish. Oh my goodness, I love
Yes, the
coconut.
finish.
I love toasted coconut, and for me, this was just like eating just tons and tons of toasted coconuts.
Right.
I'm surprised Miss Pez hasn't run upstairs after you're at the end, like wanted this immediately because coconut is her thing. And I didn't think macaroons until you said it. And then I was like, oh my God, yes.
Yep.
That is exactly what I was searching for. 100%.
It's one of the reasons why I love to nose it while Thad is giving his description, because it's like you can really catch that stuff that he's saying. I would also say, like, you said toasted coconut, like this reminds me of toasted almonds as well, because I will toast almonds and then put it on a salad, and that's it definitely has like a toasted nut.
Like it don't come out all the time, and maybe this is the time of year, like in fall, they come out in America, like where they have like the marshmallows that come out with a toasted coconut around them. Have you seen those?
What?
Like those are amazing. And like, I don't like coconut personally. It's not my thing, but I love that.
And
it's because like toasted coconut, like marshmallows. Yeah. Like see, Miss Pez is like agreeing 100%. Yep. They're amazing. And like marshmallows are almost too much for me, but like that, like it cuts it perfectly because that, coconut has that little bit of a bitterness to it too, that like kind of helps with the sweetness of the marshmallow. Like that's when you said macaroons, my mind went like, that's what, and then it's funny because later you said marshmallow and I was like, oh my God, like the 100% is what he's talking about.
Mrs. Pez, I can see the bottle behind him. Just run up and grab it. Do it.
Come up and get it, Miss Pez.
This is, oh my God.
I left enough for her to try all these things.
This is really amazing. This is definitely like, top 20. Maybe, something like that. It's really good.
I've got this little tiny bit and I'm going to drop like a small bit of water in there.
No, Dad told you not to. He told you.
Dad's never wrong.
With lots of words.
I'm doing it. Just a little tiny bit. See, that wasn't even a full drop.
Okay.
But I just have a little bit. So I just want to see, because like I was interested to see what he said. He didn't really go into the after.
That's what science is about.
You got to try it, I guess. Yeah. I just want to say for the bourbon drinkers out there, like try your bourbon without an ice cube in it first. Please, just try it neat. And then do whatever you want to it. But
I agree 100%.
Like, there's amazing stuff that happens to whiskey when you just have it right out of the barrel or right out of the bottle. Just do it. Oh my God.
No, don't do water, guys. It just ruins everything we talked about. Like it's literally just brings it like, it makes it just a good scotch.
I felt
it doesn't make it like amazing. Like I'm saying, it makes it just a good scotch.
Yeah. I was talking about that Elijah Craig that I had that 62, it's 68% or something. It's insane. It's so high and it's so good. And you put a drop of water in it and it's like, oh, it's just an ordinary bourbon.
It's just a bourbon. It's not bad. It's not gross.
Not bad.
It's not horrible. But it's just like, okay.
I feel like it was amazing, and then it came down to just like mortal. And so please try it without water first.
Yeah, for me, the stuff that makes this so special, like that makes these scotches is very fragile.
I'll just tell you that Miss Pez put it to her nose, and you might not have heard it, but she said, "Ooh," and I was like, wait a second, I'm getting ready to go off camera immediately. Like, what's happening?
We're all waiting to see.
Here you go. Let me give her a little more mic.
God. That smells good. I'm getting a little bit of a. I do see coconut. I'm getting a little bit of wood, like woody from it.
That's what he said. There's a lot of wood in there.
Yeah, I'm getting wood.
Is it
Something
like
creamy.
Yeah.
I'm getting like a
100%. It's that
creamy
marshmallow to me.
nose on there. Okay, maybe that's what I'm not marshmallow for me, but creamy. So I think it's the same or similar.
It's in that same nose family.
yeah, like a heavy
Mm.
whipped cream or something?
I can't get past the wood on here. Like it's surprising to me.
Let me put some water in there.
No.
Oh, okay. Taste it and let's see what you got.
Wow. I'm getting cherry.
Yeah, exactly.
It tastes like,
That's why I like it so much.
I was
cherry.
just gonna say it tastes like something you would like because it tastes like I'm getting cherry, a little bit of oakiness to it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, the best scotch you guys gave me was the one that tasted the most like bourbon. Just to let you know.
Go figure.
I'm just sorry. Like they almost canceled me, right? Like he's never coming back. This
No.
guy. After that.
Forget it.
Bourbon's technically whiskey, and we fucking love whiskey.
Yeah, it's fine. So like you weren't on here before, but like I will be sending, like I'm going to be sending back these bottles with a handshake, the handshakes back to you guys, but I'll be sending it with peated bourbons that me and Miss Pets have picked up because like she really loves the peated scotch. I really love the bourbon, and we found some peated bourbons out there, and some of them are pretty freaking fantastic. So I'm going to send them back. And we will and let you guys try them on your own, or if you want to invite me back.
We should have you back on the show, and
And
that's very exciting. We love Pete, so that's really exciting.
So I'll be sending you those. I have 5 or 6, I think we counted. So I have 5 bottles. So there's one that's pretty awful. So I won't send that back to you guys. But like, I'll send you
it.
You should. Yeah, we want to taste
I'll
it.
send you all. I'll send you all of them.
Yeah,
but everyone record this VOD. I said it's awful. So. Like I literally told you it's bad. It's like gross. Like I hate it. Like I actually might let you guys drink it. And
we had Malort on the show, so I don't think anything is going to be worse than that because the person who made us drink it, I almost defriended her permanently. Yeah.
And she's a wonderful person. And
yeah,
so
she's
really,
that's how bad it was. Okay,
she got it. Malort is a punishment. It's not a drink. It's a curse you put on people. Yes. It's like a joke. Like, hey, no, we all love this. You have some. That's what Malort is.
Yeah. All right, so I'll send you guys even the bad one. There's 2. One of them's like bad, but one of them's like gross. But this was pretty great.
Hey, Pez Reviews, I did want to have one question for you. I did want to have one, and I have many. But the question I wanted to bring up, English no good for me right now. Speak weird.
That's all right. I mean, we have been drinking 57 plus.
So, now, what got you into what's Pez Reviews? Like, what is that? What sparked it?
Yeah. So like, I used to play. I like to play video games. So I started playing some video games and stuff like that, and I started doing it with my family, and it was something that I actually like to do. And then me and one of my friends, his name is Famous Player. Like he's a guy that like is one of my good friends, and we were playing on a game, and we said, you know what? I wonder if we could become affiliated on Twitch. And so like we both decided we would kind of race each other to become affiliated on Twitch. And so like within a month we became affiliated, both of us. And so we started, of course, that's a lot of like, hey, everyone write their own accounts so we can have like average 3 viewers. So we became affiliated on Twitch. And then like I said, like I enjoy playing video games, but every time I was drinking a little whiskey while we were playing. He's like, you should film that. So I, shout out Famous Player. He can't be on here today. He just came back from Vegas, by the way. But like he's it was one of those things that just kind of did that. And so now I've said I used to be Pez Shotcha because I was a video game player. And then I said I actually like the reviews part better. So now I'm Pez Reviews. So I'm going to get more and more into the whiskey reviews part of it things. So. And I'm slowly corrupting my whole entire family.
We're trying to become unaffiliated on Twitch. That's our goal.
Yeah. I have done some things where I was ready to get my first like slap on the wrist from Twitch, like especially in America right now. It's really easy to get a slap on the wrist. So I was like, I thought I might, but I haven't. So far, so good. Knock on woody scotch that I had.
This Bunnahabhain because it's a wood party.
It was a wood, yeah.
This is
but yeah, that's it. Like I just, if I can do something that I'm going to already do and then let other people like jump in and talk to me about it, like that's a fun thing to do. So why not? Why not do it? Like
And
this
I
has
mean-
been an awesome experience.
We really appreciate it. They can find your channel with the links, I think, underneath you there at Pez Reviews.
Yeah, what are you
I-
playing these days? What are you playing anything in particular? Or
So I started playing this game with just my kids. Like I thought, like I was like, oh, okay, I'll play it with you. It's Fortnite, right?
oh yeah,
And so then like my kids like moved on to other games, and I was like, I'm too old to move to other games. So like this is the only this game took me a long time to get kind of good at. So
yeah.
but way back when, like I used to play like I guess semi-competitively with Call of Duty. So way
Oh.
back when,
Yeah.
a long time ago. I have to put speaking of icy hot, I've got to put them on my hands now in order to be able to function properly when I play Fortnite at this point. So it
Yeah.
is what it is. But I do it. That's what I play mostly.
Our friend Paul Hungerford does it too. He plays Fortnite with his kids, and the kids just smoke him. Just
Oh yeah.
he lands, and he gets his ammo together, and he runs out and is like, "Oh, I'm dead." Okay, right.
Yeah.
Let's start
The
again.
last
So,
time
like-
I was good at a competitive video game, it was GoldenEye 64, and that was
Dude, that's one of the best games of all time still.
hey, I was really you would not want to play against me back in the day, but
Not only was it a great video game, had a great soundtrack. There was nothing
Yeah.
bad about that game. Like it was
Yeah.
like amazing.
oh,
No, but like I still do some competitive stuff. Like it's kind of more of for people to like make fun of me. But like I did just finish in the top 100 in the world in a tournament. So like
That's
with someone.
amazing.
So like not
But-
too bad. There was 12,000 different teams that played, and my team finished 100th. Like literally 100th.
That's pretty good.
So
Was that
like
Tetris?
Still-
What was it?
that's still in the
no,
top
that was
100.
it was actually Fortnite. So
It was
like, yeah,
Fortnite. Wow.
yeah. So
Wow.
I know.
good.
Like after it, I had to go like lay down and sleep for like 3 weeks, but to recuperate from that. My teammate's much younger than me, so like he's better, hands
Oh
down.
yeah,
But,
no, the kids. I mean, it just comes natural to them.
yeah. I put out some crazy little TikTok about it at one point, and it got like it made me set that maybe I should do this more. It got like 1.7 million views.
What?
Yeah,
that's a
So I
lot of
was like,
views.
yeah, so I was like, maybe I need to like do a little bit more of this. Like maybe people like to see a really old guy play like a really young game. So I was like, let's see what happens. So we'll see what happens from there. So
That's awesome. We have one person watching all the time. So
hey, you've been
Sometimes
good
two.
tonight. You've been 13 plus all the entire night.
what? I think it's mostly you.
I think that's because of
bribing
you,
me.
Seth.
no, whatever. Whatever.
No, we bribed your wife with whiskey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I mean, she looked at like she came up and got that, and like she like walked off. But I
Oh,
know
yeah.
as soon as we log off here, she's gonna come up and get the rest of them, which she should. Like
She should.
I am so I'm telling you,
Okay.
I am so excited to let my wife try this Balvenie. Like I'm excited to let her try that because like she likes Balvenie right now. So my wife, okay, I'm gonna tell you how lucky I have it, guys.
Okay.
So like every year, my wife for our anniversary buys me a whiskey that's that year old.
Oh dear.
That's pretty awesome.
Eventually,
That is-
that's going to be impossible.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty tough.
Well, I mean, right now, like we're getting ready to go on 14. So I'm excited to see what she says.
Oh,
Like,
it's
she got-
the year of your anniversary.
Yeah, the
So
year
it's
of our
not-
anniversary. Yeah.
It's not
So-
your age.
Oh God. Like, come on. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like we couldn't even get there. I mean, let's don't play games. Like maybe you can't see, but there's a lot of gray in here. Pez is very old.
Hey,
So-
I don't know. Like,
Old.
what's
She
the
bought me
oldest? Andrew, what's the oldest a whiskey could be?
We had a 51-year-old on this program. It was 40.1%. It was just about not whiskey. It was it was cask strength at 40.1. It was
The
like
Angels have had their
after.
share, right?
Yeah. So I think that's getting pretty old for a whiskey, 50 years. But it
And I
could be
don't-
older. It could be
You
older.
couldn't do that in bourbon. It'd be gross.
I always
Like
think
in
it's funny
Scotch,
on
you
a,
might be able to get away with it because like, the climates are a lot more they're a
Yeah,
lot more they don't fluctuate as much, but like in the bourbon in America, like I don't know that you could get away with
Oh,
it.
in the
like,
South?
heat and
Yeah, your
humidity and
angel
like
share must be
seasons
just-
and yeah.
I
I always
had
think
a-
it's funny on a TV show where they're like, this is a 200-year-old Scotch.
You're like, no, it's not.
They're
Wait a
like,
second. No, it's not. No.
Yeah. I think the oldest I have a 15-year IW Hopper, which is probably my oldest bourbon that I have. And it's pretty good. But like it's to your thing, it's like it gets away from like I like things that run between like 100 to like 110. Like to me, like that's like where I really like my stuff in bourbon for sure. And so like I don't know that you lose something. Like I think 6 to 12 years is probably where you're running your sweet spot. Like anything older than that. Although she did get me a 13-year-old wild turkey that I actually really enjoy. So we'll see. We'll see what we get for the 14-year anniversary coming up in December. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some good 20-year-olds, and certainly, but it's like I feel like that's like, oh, it's rare, and that's what makes it more valuable or expensive. It's not really the flavor necessarily, you know what I mean? Like,
and how psychosomatic when you come in there. Like, I like this because like I'm supposed to like it? Because
it
costs
$200 for a glass.
And I'm going to be controversial here because that's what I felt about Pappy. It's like it's a nice bourbon, but it's priced like it's
like an exquisite, yeah. And it's nice. It's funny that you bring that up because like most people don't like the older Pappy. It's the kind of that mid-range Pappy that people really like. That's the one that people go to. And me and my wife went to Florida and she was able to get me a pour of that, so that was pretty good. So like, we got, it was one of those things like, I guess just because like you probably will never get a pour of this again. So like I'm in Oklahoma. I don't find anything like that. Like I'm never getting a Pappy.
And again, I'm glad you tried it because it's just rare. I mean, like maybe the early Pappy was amazing, but right now I feel like it's just rare. And that's kind of what you get. You're paying for the rarity of it.
Yeah. Well, I tell people all the time, like the price of whiskey isn't indicative to the quality of whiskey. Yeah. The price is indicative to how scarce it is. That's it. Like it's not really anything else. Like, because like there's some things that are like so like I have the 13-year wild turkey. I'll just bring that up because I talked about it. And like, but you just pull out a regular wild turkey 101 and like, I mean, yeah, the 13-year is better, but like the price range difference, like, I don't know if I could buy 4 bottles of this or 1 bottle of that. And so that's why I tell people like, don't get sucked into that. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm going to try it.
Wild turkey. Wild turkey was the gut rot that I drank when I was young, like Cutty Sark. It was this.
Okay, I'm going to try to. If I can find Cutty Sark Prohibition, I promise you that I'll get it, and I will send you a direct picture. Because
if you like the peat, this has got a little bit of peat in it, and it's the distilleries that we saw in the recipe. It was like, oh, there's no way this is $15 a bottle. There's no way. It's a lost leader to reintroduce the brand. So if you see Prohibition,
I'll get it. 100% we'll pick it up.
Like in the 20s, but still at the price range.
Yeah, it's still like you can't beat that.
Yeah. Seth, this has been. I mean, we're way over time here. The affiliates have already tuned out. The evening news has preempted us. I hate to bring it down to like a serious question at this point because we were having so much fun.
Sure.
But I feel like I'm not doing my job. Unless I ask you this.
I don't have any Kleenex around, but I need it.
We want to know. You've had 4 whiskeys tonight. After tasting those, I can't, Joseph.
I'm sorry. It's okay. We just want to know, Seth, do you like whiskey?
After tonight, guys, I can honestly say I don't like whiskey. I fucking love whiskey. And this turned my mind. Like I'm gonna find some scotches. I'm gonna start digging into scotches and see what I can have. I fucking love whiskey, and I'm gonna be trying to find some scotches that I can enjoy with my wife.
And honestly, if you want to ping us and see what we love, because you said the PC5, she loves the Port Charlotte. The Port Charlotte 10 is, I mean, Joseph.
That's kind of my favorite like go-to whiskey is just the Port Charlotte 10. It's just a great peaty Scotch. Like and it's complex and delightful and reasonably priced, $50-$60 a bottle, right?
It's funny that you say that because my wife literally just found like a bottle of Port Charlotte that we had bought like hidden in a cabinet, and she like, oh, I can start drinking the Port Charlotte again. She was like so excited because again in Oklahoma we don't find it as often as as other people do. So she was like, I can start drinking it again. So like it's funny you bring that up, but yeah, she's 100% into the peaty whiskey. So
fantastic. Yeah, I know she bought the Octomore, and yeah, I saw that on your post, and I was like,
I actually bought it for her. Like, hey, give me credit.
Ooh.
I bought that for you.
Boom.
I give
And
you
let me
much
tell you,
credit for buying
so
that.
at the same time, there was Octomore, the same guy that sold me this, right? He had Octomore and he had Orphan Barrel,
Don't know Orphan
which is a bourbon that's super hard to find, right? And so I was like, oh, but I bought her I put the Orphan Barrel down, and I bought her the Port Charlotte, or not the Port Charlotte, the Octomore 13.1, I think is what I got. So yeah, so she was pretty excited. It's a New Year's. We're cracking it on New Year's, so that's when we're going to be.
It's a good one. I'm interested to know what you think of it when you have it, if you haven't cracked it yet, because I love Octomore. Love it.
She loves it. I got her a pour of it when we went to. There's a small little hole in the wall whiskey place here in the small town that I live in. A guy that likes whiskey that decided he'd open a bar, and thankful for that he did, because we've been able to try some like stuff that's hard to get. We've been able to get it through him, so it's been pretty nice.
Yeah, it's nice to have a local person.
Yeah.
Although I have more
think
whiskeys.
You need someone to guide you through the world, because there is so much out there, and a lot of it is marketing bullshit and the stuff that's good. And that's where I feel like I am with bourbon, is like I don't know what I'm doing really.
Maybe we can share some secrets.
Well, I'm excited to try those peaty bourbons. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to send those to you guys. I will definitely send those to you guys.
So
And
we'll probably do that show
I,
in the new year. But yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, like I will try to I'll just get some more of these little bottles. I'll send you two sets. So like you and Joseph can both have a bottle of both have some tastings of it. And
we'll
then
have to give
we'll
some to Thad too, just so you know.
Oh yeah. So I'll send all three. Although one of them is pretty low, so I'll have to go and see if I can find another one to have three. Maybe 1 ounces of that is all I'll be able to send to that one. So
and you know what,
they can be very light pours, or we can like share a bottle.
Right.
I can sit with Andrew and we can split a little bottle.
Yeah, I will send you what I have. But it's that one's it's light because it's really, really good. So I will see if I can find another one. I know a place that probably has them, so I might go see if I can sneak another bottle from the person.
All right. Well, I want to thank you for being an excellent guest. Thank you, Mrs. Pez, for being the best guest appearance on the show. Absolutely. Yeah. Joseph, Thaddeus, like tasting notes and the technical bravo that happens here. You people in the chat, good golly, we love it when you're here.
We do.
So thank you. We'll be back next week with a new show with a guest in Chicago. But right tonight, you're the best people in the world.
Had a great night, man. I appreciate it. I can't say thank you guys enough. Thank you very much.
Happy Halloween.
Cheers for what's left of my. This is the Game of Thrones. Cheers.